Have you ever noticed how the world rarely trembles at the sound of your footsteps? Not because you lack talent, intelligence, or passion, but because you've never made it clear that your presence demands a higher order. When people interact with you out of obligation rather than reverence, it's a signal, a quiet admission that your boundaries are blurred and your limits unspoken. In our modern maze of fleeting connections, true respect isn't granted through endless smiles or hollow nods. It's earned by forging your identity with relentless clarity and unwavering boundaries. Think about it. What happens when you simply vanish from the scene? Does the world pause, or does it continue, indifferent to your absence? The reality is, unless you have cultivated a distinct presence that commands attention, you might simply be background noise in someone else's life. The answer is stark. Without clearly defined rules, without predictable consequences, you risk being tolerated rather than truly respected. Respect isn't something you can charm into existence with fleeting kindness or sporadic generosity. It's not about bending over backwards to appease others. It's about setting boundaries that are as solid as stone. Think of it this way. If you never make your expectations crystal clear, you're inviting chaos into your life. People won't know where the lines are drawn, and soon they'll overstep them with impunity. True authority is built on consistency. It's the daily affirmation that your word is your bond and that your decisions are non-negotiable. When you stand firm on your principles, even when it costs you comfort, you establish a framework that others can depend on. They learn that your forgiveness is not an open-ended invitation, but a finite grace, offered only when you see genuine growth. This isn't about being callous, it's about teaching the world that you value yourself enough to have limits. There's a dangerous misconception in our society that empathy is the ultimate virtue, even when it comes at the expense of self-respect. While compassion can heal, it can also blind you to the reality that not everyone deserves unlimited understanding. When you excuse poor behavior repeatedly, you dilute your authority. People begin to see you not as a bastion of strength, but as someone easily swayed by circumstance, a chameleon who changes hue to fit every situation. Ask yourself, how many times have you compromised your standards just to avoid conflict? Every time you excuse a misstep, you send a subtle message. I am willing to let you cross my boundaries. And soon enough, those boundaries vanish, replaced by an ever-expanding space for inconsistency. The price of this soft approach is high. In a world that rewards decisiveness, over-explanation is a luxury that weakens your position. When you explain your every move, you undermine the very mystery that makes you formidable. Real strength, the kind that commands unwavering respect, is often expressed in silence. Consider the person whose presence alone tells you everything you need to know. They don't have to shout or justify their actions. Their demeanor, their calm resolve, speaks volumes. It's not about being aloof or unapproachable. It's about cultivating an aura where your actions are enough to enforce your values. Picture yourself as a master chess player. Every move you make is calculated, each decision premeditated. The world may not know your next move, but they understand that every step is part of a grand strategy. This is the essence of true leadership. You are so impeccably aligned with your principles that others are compelled to follow, not out of fear, but out of respect for your clear, unwavering direction. There is a delicate dance between being feared and being admired, a balance that too many misinterpret. True respect isn't rooted in terror. It's born out of a natural reverence for unwavering standards. When someone consistently enforces their boundaries without resorting to intimidation or cruelty, they evoke a response that is both profound and lasting. They make others pause, reflect, and ultimately adjust their behavior. Consider the leader who has mastered the art of detachment. They don't pander to every whim or soften their words to avoid discomfort. Instead, they understand that their strength lies in the ability to hold firm, even when the tide of emotions threatens to pull them under. This leader doesn't need to chase validation because their authority is self-evident. They set rules that are as clear as daylight, and they let the consequences speak for themselves. In the digital age, where every moment is a commodity and every connection is instantaneous, one of the greatest acts of self-respect is mastering the art of absence. Being perpetually available diminishes your value. When you're always at someone's beck and call, you inadvertently signal that your time is cheap. Instead, cultivate the habit of being selective with your presence. Think of it like this. Your energy is your currency. Spend it wisely and invest it only in those who understand its true worth. When you're strategic about how and when you show up, you become an enigma, a rare commodity that others are compelled to seek out. In a world of constant noise, your measured silence becomes a beacon of strength, a testament to the fact that you are not merely a participant in life, its orchestrator. There is an undeniable truth that many shy away from. To be truly respected, you must learn to stand alone. The ability to be comfortable in your solitude is the hallmark of someone who has mastered themselves. When you no longer depend on the validation of others to affirm your worth, you begin to radiate a confidence that is both magnetic and unshakable. This solitude isn't about isolation, it's about self-reliance. It's the understanding that your worth is inherent and not contingent on external approval. When you realize that your value is intrinsic, you stop compromising your standards to accommodate others' expectations. Instead, you create a space where only those who can match your level of commitment and clarity are allowed in. This is the ultimate act of self-preservation and, paradoxically, the surest way to attract genuine respect. One of the most critical lessons in the pursuit of respect is the importance of decisiveness. There's a remarkable power in saying no without hesitation, in choosing your battles with surgical precision. When you are decisive, you make it abundantly clear that your principles are non-negotiable. This decisiveness is not about being inflexible, it's about being true to yourself and honoring the commitments you've made to your own integrity. Reflect on the times when you hesitated, when you allowed self-doubt to dilute your decisions. In those moments, the opportunity to enforce your standards slipped away. However, every decision made with confidence and clarity sends out a signal that you are in control of your destiny. And when others witness that control, they are more likely to align themselves with your vision rather than challenge it. At the heart of this entire philosophy is a simple yet profound truth. Respect is not a one-time achievement, it is a lifelong commitment to consistency. Every interaction, every decision, and every boundary you enforce contributes to the tapestry of your legacy. This is not a destination you reach overnight, it's a journey built brick by brick, moment by moment. Every time you choose to honor your own standards, you reinforce the structure of your personal integrity. And while the process may be gradual, the results are undeniable. Over time, you become a figure of stability in an ever-changing world, a person whose actions are so predictable in their righteousness that even the most audacious would think twice before crossing your path. In this way, your legacy is not measured by the number of followers or accolades, but by the depth of respect you command from those who matter most. Now I leave you with a challenge, a call to reclaim the power that lies dormant within you. It starts with a single, deliberate decision: to stop apologizing for who you are and instead begin to enforce who you must be. Recognize that every time you compromise your principles, you chip away at the fortress of respect that you've built around your identity. Embrace the discipline of setting clear, unwavering boundaries. Understand that it's not about excluding others, it's about protecting the core of your being from the relentless erosion of mediocrity. It's about daring to be the person who stands tall, even when the winds of opinion threaten to sway you. It's about becoming the standard by which others measure their own worth. Remember, true respect isn't something that is bestowed upon you, it is something you cultivate. It's the byproduct of a life lived with intention, decisiveness, and unyielding self-respect. The journey is arduous, and the path is fraught with challenges. But in the end, the reward is an inner strength so profound that no external force can ever diminish it. As you embark on this journey, take a moment to reflect on your daily interactions. Ask yourself, do I allow others to define my boundaries, or do I define them for myself? Do I seek validation, or do I stand firm in the knowledge of my own worth? The choice is yours, and the time is now. In this vast, often indifferent universe, you hold the power to transform your reality. With every clear decision and every steadfast boundary, you are not merely surviving, you are sculpting a legacy of respect and unwavering authority. Stand tall, speak with purpose, and let the silence between your words be as commanding as the words themselves. So, are you ready to stop yielding to the demands of a noisy world and start commanding the space you deserve? The answer lies not in grand declarations, but in the quiet consistency of your daily actions. Choose to be the leader of your own destiny, the architect of your own worth, and watch as the world begins to mirror back the respect you've long sought. In the end, the power to be truly respected is yours for the taking. Embrace it, defend it, and above all, never let anyone dim the light of the extraordinary person you are meant to be. This is your moment. Let your actions echo the strength of your conviction, and let the world learn to recognize the value of someone who has mastered the art of self-respect. Step into your power and make your mark, because true authority, built on the unshakable foundation of consistent principles, is the most enduring form of respect there is. Thank you for listening, and remember, the power to redefine your legacy lies within you.